Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Dana, this fight, as you said earlier in the week, is set to be the third highest gate in combat sports history. The second biggest gate you've promoted alongside Mayweather-McGregor. The top 5 gates in combat sports history come in boxing, and they come in the last 10 years. So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters?
Welcome back, y'all. This is a Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
Dana White just keeps getting afraid of people asking about the Ali Act. Let's talk about it.
Yo, man, this absolute beast of a man asking Dana White all the right questions. This hero, this God amongst men asking all the right questions. I'm going to play the clip for you guys here in just a moment. That way you guys know what I'm talking about. But listen, this man knows all the right questions to ask. There's a number of different things that I keep hearing from Dana White, from Turkey, from, unfortunately, Max Kellerman. We just did a video on that, about how Dana White's going to change the game. He's going to make it an NFL, NBA / promotion in boxing. That way boxers all come under one umbrella and, blah, blah, blah. Basically what he did with the UFC. And we have problems with that because as the man in that video that we just showed you guys goes on to question him, and as you can see, Dana White clearly stumbles his line and gets the shit boot out of him when his answers aren't sufficient, and clearly he wants to dodge the whole thing. If that's truly the case, if you're such a phenomenal promoter, why do you need to repeal all the act? If you're that good at what you do, why do you need to do all these weird things? Like the man said, the UFC has been sued now once. They've settled, which basically means everything but admitting that they were wrong. When you settle a case, you do everything but admit you were wrong. Potential 2 more class actions, as the man himself said, that hero there, asking Dana White why he's looking to make all these sweeping changes, looking to repeal the Ali Act, blah, 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 all these things. If you're such a phenomenal promoter, why do you need to do all that? If you're that good, like Max Kellerman says, to where you can just absolutely anything, the best in Max Kellerman's lifetime of a promoter, why do you need to repeal the Ali Act? Why don't you answer this man's questions? Why don't you just say, hey, look, I can get it done regardless of this particular issues, these hurdles that I have in my way, because, damn it, I'm just that good of a promoter. As you saw from the video that we played there, Dana White got the living shit boot out of him by the people in there, because unlike in UFC, where Dana White gets to pick the people, the friendly MMA media, to ask him questions, he's now been twice, I'm going to play a different video here in a second, been questioned directly about why he moves the way that he moves. If he wants to move into the boxing game, why he's treating it like he wants to treat it like the UFC.
The difference that I'm wondering about is fighter pay, because historically, boxers in championship matches are making a lot more than UFC fighters in championship matches. So what do you do?
Well, there's a handful of guys that always make that kind of money. When you look at the UFC, the money is spread across the entire group of guys. You eat what you kill. I mean, if you are a huge star like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, many people have proven that they could sell pay-per-views, and you eat what you kill here. We also have guys that would be considered journeymen in boxing who make millions of dollars. So the whole fighter pay thing is completely not true.
Again, you're so phenomenal, right? You're such a great promoter. Why do you need to make all these changes? Why not just promote the game the way it is? It's because it's not about promotion. It's not about being great. Listen, there's plenty of great fights. We talk about them all the time. That are phenomenally great fights, entertaining fights, all that good stuff. They get promoted just fine. What Dana White really wants is control. Dana White always comes with the sugar daddy, in this case, Turki Al-Sheikh, to back what he wants to do, essentially create a monopoly, which is what he wants to do here with this NBA, NFL-like promotion in boxing, and basically dominate the game to where they take all the profits, the boxers make a hell of a lot less than they've been making, and then basically be like, see, look, I'm such a great promoter. No, when you don't give anybody a damn choice, when you control all the levers in the game, it's not that people like it. It's not that people want to work for you. They don't have a choice. So this man, this God amongst men, asking these phenomenal questions and then being told by, oh, if you want to be a smartass, or if you're looking to get your little clip, or if you're looking... Nah, brother, everybody's been asking you these questions. We're asking these questions. The boxing media is asking these questions. And you never answer them. You stumble. Watch the video. He stumbles a couple times. He doesn't want to answer the damn question because he knows it looks bad. And as long as he can do it in the background where he thinks people aren't paying attention, he's going to continue to do it. But we're not here for it. If he manages to get it repealed, which is a big if, there's a pretty big chance he's not going to get it repealed. But if he manages to do it, honestly, you guys shouldn't watch anything on that damn promotion, because the more you feed the damn beast, the more it's going to eat it up. And again, I am all for the fighters making way more than the promoters, because the promoters don't do a goddamn thing. They make phone calls, they set things up, and that's the entirety of it. Dana White, not a day in his life, has worked as hard as some of these dudes that are basically killing themselves to make weight, as we saw with a lot of his recent fighters basically almost passing out while trying to get on the scales. T-City comes to mind. His fight literally just happened. He lost that fight. But tell me that man didn't look like a ghost on the damn scales, like he was about to faint himself. These people literally sometimes put their health and their long-term well-being on the line while Dana White sits in his ass and goes and plays freaking cards in Vegas, a few $100,000 a hand, while they're getting crumbs. And he's not the one putting his body on the line. It's bullshit. Honestly, whoever this guy is, somebody give me his damn information. I want to interview this dude, because this dude is a freaking God amongst men. I'm glad that there's people out there that are asking these damn questions, and I would love to have a freaking interview with this guy. Shout out to him, whoever you are, big dog. What do you think about that, my man?
See, it's funny that when Dana White was actually answering this gentleman's question, I say answering in the loosest possible term, because he didn't answer anything. He just evaded the question 3 times over. He actually hit 3 hard-hitting questions. A, why are you trying to repeal the Ali Act? 2, if you do repeal the Ali... if the Ali Act doesn't get repealed, are you still going to invest in boxing? And a third one that I can't remember at the top of my head. But either one of those 3 questions, Dana White did not want to answer. He says, if you want to talk to me long form about this, have me in an interview. The irony of that is that Dana White was on a 1-to-1 interview. He was actually on PBS Nevada. He was actually talking about promoting the fight. The reporter lady actually asked him specifically about the Ali Act, and Dana White said something to the effect of, well, I mean, there's not a gag order on these fighters. They can talk about their pay all they want. Funny enough, something like that did actually happen. Terence Crawford actually did meet with Kamaru Usman and actually talked about how much they were getting paid for this, to which Kamaru Usman talked about how much he was getting paid, and Terence Crawford said, dog, you're getting paid way too little. You could be getting paid much more. And Kamaru Usman was like, well, nah, I mean, I'm still getting paid a decent amount. I was like, it's not about whether you're not getting paid a decent amount. It's you could be getting paid more for all your work. That's the problem. And the thing is, why is Dana White in a public setting and a private setting, which he would have preferred, and already happened, mind you, why is he so squeamish about answering this? In a public setting and a private setting, he can't answer this question at all. And he kind of knows what the deal is, especially since we saw with the Kamaru Usman example. Whenever fighters get talked about fighter pay like that and realize that they could be getting paid a lot more, 1 or 2 things start to happen. 1, they realize the UFC ain't cutting it. MMA ain't cutting it. Boxing is the sport to go to. Or 2, the thing that happened with Kamaru Usman, it's probably the more realistic thing that's going to happen. They start to get kind of big, man. I was like, oh, I'm getting paid enough. I don't know what you're talking about, me not getting paid enough. They start to look at it as an attack on them, because they might see it as them choosing the wrong profession, and they look stupid as a result of that. Meaning, the idea of not wanting to look stupid is probably that's probably the gag order that's keeping them from wanting to talk about their fighter pay. So it's a twofold thing. Dana White doesn't want to disclose fighter pay, and he's saying there's not a gag order on the fighters to not talk about their fighter pay, but your other fighters are getting shamed for how little they're getting paid. That's the thing. It's a twofold thing. And my thing is, cool. You're not afraid of, there's no gag order. Cool. Why are you so afraid of transparency? If there's no gag order on these fighters and saying, oh, they can talk about how much they're getting paid all they want, why are you so afraid about their fighter pay being out of the open? Why is that such a taboo thing to you? Why are you so afraid if that's happening? It's because Dana White, like you said before, wants all the control. He wants none of the transparency. He wants absolute control out of all these fighters. So guess what? If you control their pay, if they don't know how much they're worth, guess what? that kills their negotiation power. That kills any idea that the grass isn't greener on the other side. This is as best as it's gonna get. This is the most you're gonna get paid. How much more am I getting paid? Don't worry about it. You're getting paid. Trust me. I'm your promoter. I know what's best for you. You're getting paid decently. Don't worry about it. That's what Dana White wants for these fighters. He wants total control, no transparency whatsoever.
Listen, man, I looked it up just for the sake of argument. So, Demetrius Johnson, someone that a lot of people consider one of the all-time greats in relation to MMA. After he became champion, he got paid $125,000 to show, meaning just to show up, and then if you won, an additional $50,000. So a grand total of $175,000 for one of the people that is considered one of the greats, one of the people that should be on the Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters for the UFC. Got paid a grand total of $175,000. Can I tell you something? There's boxers that get paid insanely more than that aren't as good as a combat sports fighter as Demetrius Johnson. There's journeymen that get paid more than $175,000. Not as champions, as journeymen. You guys don't think that's pathetic? But yet, we still have people like Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is a damn champion. And listen, I don't doubt that Kamaru Usman was getting paid decent. I would be surprised if it's in the millions, but if it was, good for him. That being said, the man's got bad knees. The man needs to look at the long-term outcome of his life. Mayweather said it himself, and you guys already know, I'm not Mayweather's biggest fan, but he said himself, my kids can't eat the damn belt. Facts. So the reality of it is, whenever Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, which, I'll be honest, Henry Cejudo, the more that man speaks, the more he needs to shut the fuck up. But the more that they speak, the more that they're going against their own interests. I want to ask them, tell me right now that you wouldn't fight the previous fights you fought for more money. Tell me right now that if Dana White said, I'm going to pay you more, you turn that shit down. That's what boxers are trying to tell y'all. You should be getting paid more. And every time that you get embarrassed that you're not getting paid as much, you diminish your own argument simply because you're not willing to stand up. You're a damn champion. If anyone should stand up, you should stand up. Don't you want to be getting paid millions of dollars more? It's not like the UFC can't afford it. They absolutely can. Every single time that there's a damn call with their shareholders, they say, oh, we just got this new phenomenal, brand new spanking deal with ESPN or with Hulu. With Hulu, with Netflix, with fucking no, who's the new one? Who's the new one that they just did the $7.7 billion deal with MGM Paramount with Paramount. So you're telling me they're getting these insane deals, but they can't get more than the fighters? You guys are arguing against your own interests. Why? Because you're embarrassed. Because you know you're not getting your fair share, but you're too damn scared to talk about it. Grow a pair, dudes. If there's anyone on the planet that should not be scared, it's you guys. Talk about it. You guys can say all you want. You can say it's just the top. No, it's not just the top. I'll give you a really good example. I personally think that people like Dustin Poirier, people like Conor McGregor are bigger names than Edgar Berlanga. You know how much Edgar Berlanga supposedly got for his fight against Canelo? Edgar Berlanga is not an insanely big name. You know how much he got? Rumored that he got $7.8 or $7.9 million. That's not bad, right? Conor McGregor's biggest payday in the UFC, 7.4, I believe. You're telling me a Berlanga is gonna get paid more than a Conor McGregor? Insane. Grow a pair of UFC fighters, get together, and do what was originally going to be done, band together against it. Because here's the thing. If you guys truly band together, what's the UFC going to do? Where are they going to get talent from? You guys are the blood of the company. Stop letting someone else spill your own blood when you guys are the ones that are putting your life, your long-term health on the line. Without you, the UFC does not exist. It does not continue to be a $7.7 billion corporation. Tired of these people, man, fighting against their own damn interests. But listen, it is what it is. I'm glad that there's people like this dude out there calling this shit out, pointing it out, and making Dana White look like a fool because he just made excuse after excuse. And the great thing is the crowd was not going for it. They booed the shit out of him.
And also credit to the reporter lady working for PBS Nevada for asking the same question.
Phenomenal work by these individuals. And again, if somebody knows who this dude is, get me his information. I would love to interview that dude. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.